So when I moved to China back in 2014, wow, we've been coming back and forth since 2003, but we retired 100% from Canada. We sold everything right down to 2 suitcases, and we picked up and we, like my couch, my bed, my computers, my everything were all gone. And we moved to China with 2 suitcases. Yes. And I had a bank account here with a whack of cash in. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it was a lot. And 2 months after, and I don't know how the banking goes in China, but 2 months after I come to China, I didn't have a bank account anymore, and all my money was in my wife's bank account. And I asked her, I says, "Wife, like, what the fuck, eh?" And she says, "Oh, don't worry about it." She says, "I can deal with our money matters in China better than you can. Money management and putting it in and getting percentages for your money and investments and whatever. Controlling my money." Okay, now she's controlling where I live. And now she's controlling all my money in China.
No, yeah, totally. Actually, that was something else that I got used to since being here, is these whole, you get like 50, 100,000, 200,000, you just slam it in a thing for like a bank product, my wife calls it. It's like a bank product, and you sling it in there like 2 or 3 months later, depending on how long or whichever product you pick, it goes in there for a period of time. It's usually like 2 or 3 months, and it comes back and it's got like 4 or 5%, I don't know, like I'm not even sure what percentage, but it's got like a nice-ish return, and then you put it back in again, like, and you just keep doing this, and you're making money. Not a lot of money, you're never gonna make you like a millionaire from doing it, but it's, you know, it's pretty good, right?
Today she went out for a birthday party. I was out at the birthday party this morning too. We went for dim sum and whatever, but I didn't have any money in my pocket. I got like 30 RMB in my pocket, and 30 RMB don't take you a long way in China. Not when you're a foreigner like me. If you're some poor guy, I suppose you could go get a bowl of soup. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I come home, and she's still partying at the birthday party with her friends and eating cake and, you know, Chinese, taking selfies and whatever. She's controlling my money in China. But what about controlling where I live in Canada? She wants to be close to Vancouver. So we buy a place on Vancouver Island. It's not the same as Vancouver, but it has the word Vancouver in it. So that's okay. Now we got a little condo on Vancouver Island, only 30 kilometers away from downtown Vancouver, as the crow flies, across the water. And you very seldom go there because Vancouver is frustrating as hell. Anyway, so she controls where I live in China. She controls my money in China, and she's controlled where I live in Canada. Okay, well, when I was working, when I met my wife, she says, "You're working for this guy and you're doing all the work. Start your own business." She says, "Well, yeah, but Henry's a friend of mine." She says, "It doesn't matter, it's all business and it's all about money." Okay, so we got married in August of 2003, and by April of 2004, I was running my own business, competing with my ex-boss.
Yeah, now, like, my wife's never, like, maybe quit my job and start like running my own business, but she does push me. Like, she pushes a lot in certain areas that she finds important, and she'll push here if she thinks it's right, and she'll push there, and you know, like, I have, like, it seems funny having, like, most people be like, no, I would never have my wife push me there, push me like that, and push me and do this and do that. But I do say that, like, since I've come to China, when I was in England, I used to, like, whatever money I had, and I used to make quite a lot of money, I'd just blow it. Like, I'd be like, I'm just gonna buy all this cool shiny stuff, I'm gonna go out and drink, like, a sea of beer, I'm gonna get mashed out of my head. I am getting on it and buying all this crazy stuff and like going to crazy places and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I never saved. And like the one thing she has done is by pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing is that I always now go into the mindset of like, oh, maybe I'll just catch the bus because it's way cheaper than taking the car, it's less hassle, and I save money. So I'm saving more money than I've ever done in my life. It's great. Like, so sometimes, like you said, it sparks my bulb, to coin your expression. Like pretty much, like there's times I'm like no, and I have to fight against it. I'm like no, I'm not doing that. Like, but then there's certain things that she budges on, certain things I budge on, and it's actually working quite well at the moment. So yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, making it, sparking my bulb again, making it so that I see that I'm being underutilized, I guess. And it was a good thing for us because we made way more money running our own business than we did anybody else's business. Okay, so now she's running where I live in China, where I live in Canada, my money in China, and the businesses that I run in Canada. Okay, what about my money in Canada? Well, guaranteed she helped me make a lot more money in Canada. But that's where she hit a brick wall, because when it comes to money in Canada and finances and investments and all this other stuff that's dealing with the bulk of our cash in Canada, I'm the go-to guy. So there's a number of things that there's give and take in any relationship, but there's a number of things that she can control. And as anybody else in any other relationship, there's got to be that give and take, and she controls certain things in our relationship, and I control certain things in our relationship. I control when we go places and what we do. If we're going to go on vacations, or if we're going to go back to Canada, if we're going to jump on an airplane and bugger off to Australia, that's basically my decision where we're going to go in the world, when we're going to do it. So there's that give and take in a relationship, which is sort of good. Do Chinese women control your life? Absolutely, just like any other woman would control your life as a wife. But as any relationship goes, that it's sort of a conversation between the two of us to say, oh, okay, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Because although Wei Fang took my bank account and all my money in China, no, she never asked me, shithead, I'll get her on that one. But when it came to selling the place in Beihai and moving back to Nanning, yes, she asked me. Selling our places in Saskatchewan and buying a little condo in Vancouver Island, of course, it was a decision that we both made. So when it comes down to all of the decisions that we've made in our lives, in our married lives, it's one of those things that there's give and take from both parties, and she's made decisions that I've gone along with, and I've made decisions that she's gone along with. So if you say, does she control everything? Absolutely not. I wear the pants in the family. Okay, only when I'm in Canada, or sometimes when I'm in China. And she wears the pants only in China and sometimes when she's in Canada. It's the way it is. It's how any marriage works. And I think that's a good thing, because we respect each other. We understand each other after so many years of living together. If we didn't respect and understand each other, we wouldn't be married anymore. I would have kicked your ass to the curb when you stole my money in China. Yes. And I still haven't seen that money back yet, but she gives me sort of an allowance, but it's never enough to keep me really, really, really happy. I run out of brandy every once in a while. It's just not fair. Alex, tell me your story.
I mean, yeah, I pretty much feel the same as you. Like, we both had control of different areas of like life. Like, she deals with a lot of the stuff which requires. I mean, I speak Chinese, obviously. She speaks English, but her English is a lot better than my Chinese. My Chinese, I can do like daily talking. I could go for a whole day without speaking English at all. But there's certain situations where my Chinese just doesn't extend to, and that's like things like arranging stuff, a lot of the stuff to do with finance stuff way above my head. Like, we've now got 2 children, so a lot of the stuff sometimes there in China, like, I can do like the most of it, but there'll be times that's like, you know, you get the idea. There's just certain situations, specialized situations, let's say, where my Chinese just isn't good enough, and she needs to step in and run a show, and she does a lot of stuff like that. The money side of it, she's pretty damn good at that. But then there's a lot of things as well, like business stuff, that, you know, comes from me. That's like, she cannot do that. There's a lot of like English learning, a lot of the education stuff, because I teach as well as do business stuff. Basically, a lot of like the stuff for like our son, she'll organize the Chinese side of the education, and she knows she's got a finger on the pulse to do with like the education stuff that he needs for Chinese, and he like. She'll be, I mean, he's not just coming in for 3, so it's not like high, like super, like Gaokao stuff, but like, she'll be like, she organized him this Chaohu stuff, Smart Tiger, which is fantastic. And then, like, me and my parents and my sister, and also all English contingency of the family organize things like that, anything travel-y related, like, I sort out, because basically she's not too sure about those things. And then anything we need in China travel related, she sorts out there. If I want to go to Shanghai to see my sister, she'll be like, right, here's a list of trains, you choose one, I choose one, bam, the tickets are there, just go and collect them. So like, she does run a lot of the show, and then I guess I run all the show, and it kind of bounces backwards and forwards. It's not 50-50 all the time, but I mean, I don't think any relationship is. I just think Chinese women are seen as being more pushy because they kind of like, in certain areas, they are better. Like, if it comes to like saving and being like looking to the future, it's kind of, it's ingrained in the culture here to be good at that. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you know, you're good at that kind of thing, and it doesn't matter if you've got loads of money or if you've got no money at all, you still know how to budget and save for rainy days and make sure that you're like covered for what you think you'll need. You know, like on the whole, it's not always the case, but then again, you know, yeah. But yeah, overall, it works fantastically, and like without my wife, you know, things would be a lot different. Things would be, I'd probably be partying hard somewhere, or like one of these like long dread-haired hippies, like just trailing all over the world. But yeah, no, I have done fantastically. I couldn't imagine it any other way. And yeah, that's kind of it, really. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you're a viewer of one of Gweilo's viewers that you come over here, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'm hoping that you will consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell next to it, so that you can get when any new content from me comes out. If you're one of my subscribers and you haven't gone over to Gweilo's channel, you should go over there and check him out. Give him a chance, watch some of his videos. Kind of different to my style, but Gweilo's a super nice guy, and yeah, definitely go over and check him out. Anyway, guys, peace.